My name is Marie, and I'm going to be talking today about the King of Rock and Roll. He was a significant icon in the 20th century. Everybody knows him, his voice, his music, his movies, and the way he moved his hips. So, the question I'm going to talk about today is Elvis. Is he dead or is he alive? He may be dead now, but I don't believe that he died on August 16th of 1977. And here is why. I believe he went into hiding. And the reason he went into hiding is because he needed to be getting into the witness protection program. Back in 1971, he had a meeting with Richard Nixon, the president at the time. And they conducted him into the narcotics division of the presidency. He had his own badge. He took an oath. There's record on it. You can look it up. Pretty interesting. He was very, very big into law enforcement and the narcotics division. Well, he also was involved with the Memphis Mafia. Elvis was. And so when speculation got out that he actually narked on the biggest drug lord in the Memphis Mafia, he started to get death threats. So severely that he had to triple up on his bodyguards. So, did he die? I don't believe so, but I believe he would have if he hadn't have gone into hiding. On the day of his death, he weighed in at 280 pounds. When they weighed Elvis's body in the coffin, it weighed about 182. Sure, they drain all the fluids and this and that, but they also replace them. So how did he lose a mere 100 pounds shortly after death? I can tell you. It was a wax dummy in the coffin. The dummy, people, passerbys, had said they could see sweat on his forehead. Corpses don't sweat. However, hair pieces that have been glued on can show the remnants of glue. Because also, if I could find a picture on this here, sorry about that. His sideburns looked like they had been glued on. Not to mention the corpse in the coffin looked like a 1956 Elvis Presley. Not the Elvis Presley that was over 280 pounds, could barely breathe from being morbidly obese. Can y'all see? That does not look like a 42-year-old Elvis. That looks like a 25-year-old Elvis. In 1977, December of 1977 to be exact, they had already opened up Graceland to the public. And there was a man named Michael Johnson that had taken a picture of the pool house. Well, in the door of that picture, as I have blown up here, you can see a silhouette. Mind you, December 1977 is a year and a couple months after, December of 77 is just a couple months after Elvis had died. My apologies. And as you can see here is a silhouette of somebody sitting in a chair, looking out the back door of that pool house, watching his fans walk across and look at his grave. Because that too is where his grave is placed. And speaking of graves, Elvis, when he was born, had a twin brother named Jesse Garon. Garon is G-A-R-O-N. So to pay tribute to his twin brother that died at birth, he only spelled his middle name with one A, even though it was two A's on his birth certificate. On his gravestone, it is two A's. That is wrong. Elvis, it should have been one A. So the gravestone was even wrong. This here is Elvis's signature. Everybody knows the signature. It is 100% recognizable. This is Elvis's death certificate. According to that signature and the address here on Elvis Presley Boulevard, those signatures are about 98% the same. Nobody could ever tell what the cause of death was for Elvis. It was severe constipation, cardiac arrest, drug overdose. No one ever came to a conclusion of what the purpose of death was. That's kind of odd. When Elvis died, he had $420 million in his bank account. Elvis said to have died about 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. By the next morning, there was only $750,000 left in his account. Someone had to have drawn millions and millions of dollars out of the account. Who? Possibly Elvis, so he'd have his money to live on in hiding. Shortly after Elvis's death, there was a man in disguise by the name of John Burroughs that had got a plane ticket to get out of the country. Oddly enough, John Burroughs is the alias name that Elvis used to use to book hotels and plane tickets and this and that, so there wouldn't be a large crowd of people, swarming him if Elvis Presley had checked in. So there's all kinds of speculations. There's all kinds of sightings. The medical examiner's report is inconclusive still to this day. I don't know if Elvis is dead now. I can't tell you that, but I know for a fact he didn't die on August 16th, 1977. There's no way. I wish I had all the time in the world to go through everything with you. There's a lot to go through, and I know for a fact that there's so many things that would just blow you out of this world if you knew the fact. And maybe one day soon we can go through it. But I guess it's really up for you to decide. Did Elvis die? Or did he fake his death? I guess we can talk about that later. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day.